Hello YouTube. Let's redo the bitey finisher. I'm really struggling with this stone, guys. It's a good bit coarser than advertised in my eyes, both by feel and knives, other than the Magna Cut, which is screaming hard and very hard to sharpen. Again, I'm using normal knives with the exception of Magna Cut. It's 64 HRC and much harder than normal knives. And I don't think it's fair that a stone is only good on extremely hard custom knives. So I just got it soaking maybe a minute, again cutting off the edge on this Victorinox, which is a normal knives that nearly every kitchen, especially professional but normal kitchen, has. I'm just going over it a little, refreshing the surface. Just getting off if there's any coy spots. And it doesn't feel harder than a normal 600 either. It feels hella coarse. Like when you stroke on it, this feels actually coarser or similar to my Josera 400. Am I disappointed? Yes, again on anything other than the Magna Cut, which is screaming hard, and it shouldn't be that way. Just what is blocking here? There. Using pretty light pressure, normal sharpening angle around 15 degrees. Listen to how coarse it is. You can hear it. Using very light pressure, just the weight of the knife, no pressure at all. Oh, it shouldn't be that coarse. Is that already a burr? Have I gotten a lemon? I don't know, guys. But listen. If you tell me that's a 600, no. On this steel it ain't. It's actually feels coarser than my GNS 300 and coarser than my Josera 400, which now is cracked because I dropped it, so it's not like I do a comparison. But I've used it for 7-8 years, the Josera 400, so I should know. And again, I'm using no pressure at all. I think that's a burr. Gonna do my best to clean up, but you should be able to get a pretty good edge of this. As I said, I've push cut off the GNS 300 and I struggle more with this. And if it's a stone that only can do screaming hard steels, then to me it isn't good. Shearing off the burr. I'm giving it everything I can to make it as fine as I can, guys. Using exceedingly light pressure. It feels insane coarse to the touch, like it's ripping my skin. If I do this, I'm gonna show you. Look at my fingers, how red they are. It's tearing off the skin of my fingers, guys. A 600 shouldn't do that. So I'm not liking this stone, and it sucks because this I bought with my own money. It's very hard to deburr on also, which trust me isn't a problem I normally have. Again, I'm stropping before I'm gonna go to the paper, which normally I don't need to. I've shown you guys I can sharpen. So in this rare scenario, it's actually the stone and not the user, which is sad. I mean, not a bad edge, but it's hella coarse. It's like a 300-400 with edge. And I struggle getting it clean straight off the stone too. Like it's a stone that's hard to use. And the 1200 side is more like a 600. The 600 is more like a 300. There's no chance in hell that this is a 1200. Not a chance at all. Even retesting the Magna Cut I did, it doesn't feel like a 1200. It rips my fingers. So this side is more like a 600. Again, ultra light pressure, not even the weight of the knife. I'm supporting it. I'm not saying it's a bad stone, don't get me wrong. I like it. It got fantastic feedback, literally some of the best feedback I've ever experienced. But it's much coarser, like 40-50% coarser than advertised, and it feels more like a coarse natural, in a good way and a bad way. And again, I'm doing everything in my possession to show this. After this, I'm gonna show two which is high-end knives, but in a little more normal steels. Doing everything I can to minimize and shedding and shearing the burr off. So it's not like I'm trying to make the stone look bad. It's the completely different way around. I'm actually stropping it to do everything I can to make the stone seems better than it is. But it's coarse. If you like coarse edges and amazing feedback, then this is for you. But don't expect that 600, 1200. Expect a 300, 600. That's more like what it is. This feels like, yeah, maybe 600-700. Maybe I can stretch that to 800, maybe. Maybe, but it's not at 1000. Maybe it becomes finer after some use. I don't know. It isn't a bad stone. I like the stone very much, sharpening on it. Trust me. It's got fantastic feel. But you see, it struggles very much doing this. And I've done this countless times on the professional 1000. So ABL, very hard. I'm guessing 64, I can't remember. This I'm gonna create a bird just on the 1200 side because it's coarse enough. Again, no pressure, just a knife and like 50 grams, the weight of the knife. It's cutting fairly good, it feels amazing. It's got the best feedback I've ever experienced in a stone. And I would love this feeling in a stone in finer grits. Like say twice as fine and 3 times as fine in different stones. But it's not slower than normal stones. It's not harder than normal stones, but it's got amazing feedback. I'm using no pressure and it's cutting very good. It feels better than any aluminum oxide stone I've tried. So yes, there's something different here. I got a pretty substantial burr. Damn it, I've over sharpened. So just to minimize fatigue, I need to drag that off. I over sharpened actually, which tells you the speed and coarseness. But again, I love the feel. It feels so amazing and I love it, but it's not as advertised in the grid at all. Far, far from that, guys. And you can see by the speed also. That was one pass and it jet black. Trying not to over sharpen. So. Not at the burr because I'm pretty low. And it feels amazing. Like I haven't sharpened on any stone other than naturals that has felt this crisp and good. It feels a lot like a high-end J-net. I say that in a good way, but at the same time it feels coarser. There I got a pretty small burr, which is what I want. Let's flip. Shouldn't take long since I reached it. So. And there. Again, I'm doing everything I can. I'm rinsing. And it hurts my fingers like F. Just rinsing and washing the stone. That's how coarse it is. But I love it. I love the feel. Now, less than the weight. I'm finding the balance point, which is around here somewhere on this. Holding it there and barely kissing the stone. I would guess if you got a fishing lure around 20-30 grams, a little heavy fishing lure like saltwater fishing lure, and it feels much better on very hard steels than it does the soft Victorinox. So if you sharpen hard knives, which all the testing on this I've seen is harder knives like 62 and up, yep, I understand why they're raving and is positive, but it's coarser than advertised, guys. But this is a one stone does it all except thinning, which it sheds a little abrasive. I love sharpening on it, so don't get me wrong, I can recommend it if you got harder stainless. But again, don't expect a 6-1200 stone, you know, make you see. Look how damn scratchy it is. Can you see? Look at these scratches and tell me that's 1200. It's gouging, guys. Do I care? Again, no, because I like coarse grits, but then tell me it's, if this was sold as 300, 600, no problem. It's struggling. It wants to slice, it doesn't want to push. I can do curlicues, and it's a ripping edge, but it isn't a 1200 by far. I mean far. At the best it's like 700-800, that's 400 grit away. So and I've been cutting this for so long, I can tell. Feels like on this steel 700-800-ish, very hard ABL. What the fuck happened to the light outside? It looks all orange. Let's do Nylox, which is tool steel. This isn't very hard, but it's probably, again, 62, 63-ish, if I remember correctly. Again, 7-8-year-old knife, so I know this well. Again, I'm gonna show you if I do weight of the knife and the size of the knife. Let's see if it sheds abrasive. Just thinning a little. It feels much better on these harder steels. This is mono steel, so not any soft cladding. Here it feels pretty good. Actually, I must admit, again, the feedback is amazing. But let's check how it looks. Look at these deep scratches. There and there. Those aren't 1200. Am I still recording? Yep. Trying with a little pressure to 300 grams. And you see the abrasive starts straight or away releasing. So again, just the weight of the knife and like 50-100 grams. Why isn't this closing? Just 2 seconds. What is it behind here? I must take that after. It's slamming into my leg, but yeah. If I use the weight of the knife, it's not shedding abrasive. As soon as I add like 200-300 grams, let's see, to half a kilo. No, it's actually not. Okay. It's better on this. So it's good, very good on hard steels. I'm gonna show you again the scratch pattern. Look. Looks pretty decent actually on that side, so the edge, and it feels amazing on the edge. So again, I can recommend it if you got harder knives, but it doesn't feel like a 1200. And yes, I'm lightening the pressure to barely any when doing the round part. Of course I am. And that's a burr. What the hell on this? It's suddenly loading? Okay, that's a new. It's still cutting though. I'm gonna show you. Can you see it's loading? That's new. And this one. It's weird. If I didn't know better, I would say it's a natural. It's what it feels and reminds me of. Let's see if the glazing helps it act finer. It feels that way. The burr down there, not the mid part. Because now it's slowing considerably down since I'm letting it load, which I'm doing to see if it's refining more. Just jointing, making sure it's uniform, so I don't get dips in the edge, which on a knocker is extremely important. There a little more just of the point here. Yes, I sharpen it also there. See how it flips per insanely light pressure here now. And I'm letting it load pretty substantially. And it's flipping the burr. So now I'm basically, and it again, it hurts to wash off this though. It really hurts to wash it. There was the burr on the backside. So doing less than the weight of the knife, like 15, 20, 30 grams ish. Flipping. Now it feels like 1000, 1200 ish because it's loaded. But if I dress it, I know it's feeling like a 600 again. So this will probably cut like 1000, 1200 edge. And ciabatta, and the site says to soak between 1 and 10 minutes. I literally let it soak a minute. I think soaking it more than that and it becomes friable. I don't know, but you could probably perma soak it if you want to. Again, I've been sharpening now for 20 years, so I'm not bothering about checking the edge. Like, I know if it's supposed to be good or not. just before putting the stone away, since it's wet now, gonna clean it. This is a DMT, is it extra or is it coarse? DMT coarse. Using no pressure. Also, I've had for ages, for the people that saying DMT wears out quick, well, you're probably using a good bit of pressure. Again, when washing this, it wants to rip the skin off my fingers. It's that coarse. But when it loaded, it felt more like a 1000 grit stone actually. So yeah, I'm gonna give it that. The feedback on this stone is superb, guys. It's one of the best feedbacks, but again, I will not recommend on softer steels. That's a damn good edge, but you can hear how coarse it is. Like it wants to rip, not cut, it wants to rip. In the paper, it feels like I've said the whole time 600-700 grit on the 12, and on the 600 it feels more like a 300, maybe tops 400, and that's in serious doubt. It feels the 600 like 300, the 1200 feels like 600, like it's 50% coarser. If you don't care about that, it's absolutely fantastic stone. But you need to have great skills with softer knives to deburr. This is insanely toothy at the same time clean edge. You see it struggles with curlicues, like I've shown so many times, and I've shown this also refining on the Shapton, sorry, the Nanova Pro 1000, it gets seriously finer. So my verdict is it's a liar, blatantly liar. It isn't a 1200, 600. It isn't, guys. It's a 300, 600 on everything except the hardest. This is damn hard. The ABL is damn hard. The only thing, because it's so hard, it's nearing the peak of what the stone can do, is the Magna Cut. On softer steel, it feels even coarser, like the 600 side feels like a 200, 220-ish. It rips the steel. On the 1200 side, it feels like 400-500 grit, like a Chaussera 400 or a Shapton Glass 500, even not that fine. The 1200 side on softer steels, I have more problem getting a fine edge than I did of my GNS 300. And yeah, the proof is there. It's so damn much coarser than advertised, and it bugs me because the feedback is fantastic, the speed, abrasive, everything. If I got this stone as advertised grit wise, it would be the best stone out there for finishing kitchen knives, hands down. but you need something to refine just ever so slightly. I'm gonna show you. This is a stone strop, I call it, because I baked on the abrasive. Literally this little, no pressure. I can't even count how many was that, 6 per side. Let's do the same. And it bugs me because I really like Takayuki Shibata. Either I got a lemon or everybody else is lying. Which I find hard to believe, but you never know in the sharpening community or reviews. There's so much lying out there, guys. There. I'm so adamant that this has done what the stone should have. That and yes, that's toll paper. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Ah, it fell. It still struggles. It's toothy as F, but it does this now much, much better. Or does it? Did I spoke too soon? It does. You can still hear the bite. The loud hiss is still there, but now it feels more like 1200, maybe pushing 15. Not even that, it's 1000-ish. It feels like the Nano Professional 1000. Let's test the Nylox. I did 6 per side, I think. Yeah, it feels like straight off the 1000 now. Just here. That and this, which I did earlier, that push cut Rishla paper. Let's do the same paper so you don't blame me for cheating. Listen to the difference in the sound. Now I struggle here too funny. It's a fair bit sharper to paper this, but the others got bite. So again, it's not advertised. It isn't. Let's check the Victorinox. I haven't refined that. And listen. It's coarse. So the edge is clean. That's a fair bit better, but still extremely toothy. Let's try. Look, it struggles here. It struggles on that because that's how damn tough it is on those coarse steel. It feels like I'm at the 300 grit level of a 1200 stone on soft steels. So yeah, either there's something very wrong with my stone, or the stone is a blatant liar. One of two. I've tested now 3-4 different, no, let's see, 1 Victorinox, 2, 3, 4, 5 different steels. On one of those knives it felt like it's supposed to be, and that's MagnaCut at 64 HRC. Because it struggles cutting it, it's up on the upper threshold of what it can cut. So again, it's 50% coarser than advertised, and to me that's basically being spitted on and being lied to, which isn't good. If you are a professional sharper like Takayuki, either you have the stone I have is bad, or the reviews are lying and it's basically about earning money. I don't know, guys, but it's easy to see by these testing that there's something with the stone. I mean, I've pushed cut Rishla paper today with the Tojiro. I've sharpened actually with this cheap stone here I bought from the hardware store, and it feels a lot like that edge actually. I think actually that edge was a little finer. And it bugs me because if the stone was as advertised, I'm loving the feedback, but it's too coarse for my use in the kitchen. It's too coarse for anything, so I need a stone or strop to refine it a little, and that sucks. On anything other than the harder, I can get a working edge of the ABL, the Nilox, but again, they're very coarse. They're ripping edges. And that shouldn't be happening at the 1200 level. If you don't understand that and don't got experience with it, then I don't know where to move forwards. But I feel a little cheated there for what I paid. It isn't a very expensive because you get 2 stones in one, but it's a 90 bucks stone. I paid 900 Norwegian for it. I'm without work. I barely got money to put food on the table. I used subscribers' money up on that Toma, so this was my own money, which I've saved for a long time, sold stuff to afford, and I was expecting more, so it's a huge ass letdown. And it sucks because I wanted to like it. I've done everything I could now to give it a chance. I even let it load, which it is a little semi-problem in its own, and I don't know what more I can do to help the stone, and it should be the other way around, that the stone helps you. So terrible, sorry, but it's a bad stone in my eyes, except the feedback. And I hate to say it because the feedback is amazing, but it's much coarser than advertised in my eyes. And that sucks because again the feedback is blowing me away how good it is and how good the abrasive and feeling of the stone is, but it's a coarse ass stone, and you can hear it, you can see it in the edges, the scratch pattern, the feel, how it feels on my fingers. Like, look, I'm red and sore in my fingers just by washing the stone. I got sores. So yeah, sorry for the negative, but it needs to be said. Bye.